I'd first like to read in the book of Psalms, 17th. O God, thou hast taught me from my youth, and hitherto have I declared thy wondrous works. Now also when I am old and gray-headed, O God, forsake me not until I have showed thy strength unto this generation, and thy power to come to everyone that is to come. I like that verse, the 17th. I was raised in a Christian family from way back, and my dad was the first missionary to come to the Mojave reservation through a Reverend, excuse me, Alfred Cyrus Edgar. He was a white person from Needles, and that was where my dad was saved, was when Mr. Edgar used to go out to Fort Mojave School and preach to the kids. So then he was saved from then, so he went over, they put him to school in Pasadena through a Quaker family. He went to school there, then later on he went from there to the Presbyterian Church in New York, but they placed him in Phoenix at the Cook Christian Bible School, and he'd go to school there, and he'd come home, and he'd be up real early in the morning with a Coleman lamp, that lantern. That's how we had light then. And then he used to go to a task like into Phoenix, and he would get on the freight train from here, and he knew one of the men in them little caboose, so he was real friends with him. He was a white person, and he took him, let him ride the caboose into Phoenix for his test, and then he came back. Then we live right by the railroad, so he would slow the freight train down and let him off right on top the mesa there. So he'd walk home from there. I don't know how many years he did that, but he finally finished his Bible to become a preacher. So he was ordained and went into New York to get ordained. My mother went with him and one of my brothers, and then he came back and was around here preaching to the people that set up the church. It's still standing yet up here on 2nd Avenue. Then that's where we all went to church when we were small. We'd sit in the front row, because that was the preacher's, I guess the preacher family has to sit there. So we sat there, all of us, all of the children. We were eight, 4 boys and 4 girls. Then the ladies sat on this side, the men sat on this other side. So we're that way for a long time, as far as I could remember. So then my dad had sent 2 of us to a Presbyterian school in Tucson. The name of it was Escuela Training School. We went there for about 5 years. And we never came home because we had no transportation to come home. So we'd stay there all that time. But then we finally got transportation, so we came home, and then we stayed and went to school here and finished school up here in Parker. But you know, it was really hard then. I remember going with him when we have meetings, camp meetings, or funerals, and the people were really mean to him. They just talked Mojaves to him, say things to him, but he never gave up. He went right on preaching the word, and to this day, I guess they don't have, at cremation, they don't have that's where he went, cremation, preached there. And so when they started building that church down here, a lot of the Mojaves helped them build it. And it still stands with the help of that Mr. Edgar from Needles. went there. We had church services there, camp meetings. We had a lot of camp meetings. People, Indians came from all over to there. And they used to call it the little church in the wildwood, because they had a church there that had all the trees around it, tamarack trees, and then when they have camp meetings, all the people camped right there. And then that finally went away, so then they built the new Presbyterian church over there. And well, it was kind of hard, you know. I never got into this young people thing they had. Going to dances and cussing and drinking and drugs. I never got on it. It came in the latter part of my childhood, but I never got into that. And I was thankful for my dad, my mother. They both taught us. They tell us things even though we don't do it, but they had to let us know that this is coming up. And they always said that you go out, if you go to some place to night, stay late, you come home, you be up early in the morning, every day, even Sunday, you be ready. And but we never were like that. But he was just teaching us, and I guess we listened till a certain age, and I never did go into that thing. But my other brothers and sisters, when they got to know, well, they went their own way, and it was sad, because I always used to say to one of my sisters, I respect what my father and mother taught me when I was growing up. And I don't want to go against them and do things that is wrong. So that was how it always was with me, and I go to almost every church that I like to see my friends, because I can't get around much. I see my friends, but I still stick to my own, what I was taught. Right now I am at the Baptist church in town, but I haven't been going for a while. So, and when I don't go, I come here to be with the people here. Yeah, so that's all I can say. All right, my time is up.